Welcome to the Five Stars Realty Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. Today's guest is Sonia Alvelo Lynch. And most people spend their life hoping for a break. Sonia, with her Latin financial and Sharp Capital business, she's the founder. She's made dreams come true in the business world. She's a Hispanic Latin woman, and she's going to tell us today how she made it happen. Welcome, Sonia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You guys have an amazing team. And thank you for having me today.
Of course, thank you for coming in and giving us a little bit about your time.
I appreciate the time. And I'm so excited to share my story and letting you know what is Latin Financial, who is Sonia Alvelo Lynch, and let's do this.
So you went right for it. I want you to tell our viewers, our clients out there, who are you, where'd you came from, and what's made you the woman you are today.
Oh my goodness. A lot of, bumps on the road. My name is Sonia Alvelo Lynch. I'm the CEO of Latin Financial and Sharp Capital, two amazing companies. We help small businesses already established all over U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada to get the access to capital. I know it's hard. I know that you have a business right now, and I'm pretty sure most of the businesses, you go to a lender right now, a traditional lender, and you have that, scared feeling.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, they're not going to say yes. I'm not going to have an opportunity. And that's why we created Latin Financial and Sharp Capital, to give those businesses the opportunity to get the access to capital now.
I love that. I come from traditional banking.
Yes.
As a business banker, and I had a lot of clients and people just sitting in front of me, and they were scared, or they were
Yes.
like, what do we need? What do you need? And when you're talking about banking, it's so many documents.
Absolutely.
And when you don't have somebody to guide you along, it can be even scarier.
I think it's the misconception and the education.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it is a traditional, lending. So I come back, I come from the same background. So I know that feeling of thinking, oh my goodness, they're going to ask me for 20 or 30 documents that I don't have. Not thinking that they have, a state or federal regulations that you may qualify for those.
That's true.
So, as long as you running the business like you should, have a business account, have the deposits, consistent deposits. There's so many little things that it can actually help you to get either a grant, which is money that you don't pay back because it's through either the state or federal, or have an opportunity to rebuild or reestablish your credit with either a business line of credit, equipment financing, or maybe a small loan. That's all you need, one opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a quote that you say. Stop hoping, start deciding. You're not trying, you're building. Where does that come from?
I think it came from a lot of my clients and listening to their stories, letting me know I applied, I got declined over and over again. And that resonated with me because when I started my company, I didn't had any other, not other companies or lenders, or even when I used to visit the traditional banking, that they look like me. We were always in the back
Yes.
and helping the clients through the phone back in the day. We evolved. A lot of things have changed, and I'm glad. I think that Latinas, like we are, we have a voice, and we want to be heard. So I think that because of that, I had to make some changes within our company just to make sure that not only we can help established business, it could be running for 20 years, but also help other businesses as a woman-owned business, as a Latina-owned business, as a, starter business. So every single business, they need that transition and that education on one-on-one. We, with no origination, no, okay, you don't have to pay now. It's basically that one-on-one that we can actually sit down and let them know, hey, listen, this is what you can do right now. And even if you don't qualify in the next 30, 60, or 90 days, this is what you got to do to qualify.
I like that.
Yeah.
In the bank, you only get a denial.
Denial
and
a
good
letter.
luck.
And
Yeah.
if you're lucky enough, a letter, and they don't explain the why. And
They don't, underwriter would just say it's denied.
It's
They don't even tell me
Right.
why. So it's very difficult to then connect with your client, with the person, with the business person in front
when
of
you
you.
can't even let them know.
Correct. So I'm
yeah.
really happy that then you walk through with your clients
absolutely.
and like show them what's better.
Now, one of the things that the misconception is the insufficiency per month. A small business owner, sometimes they have a lot of deposits. They can actually deposit every day and they feel good about it. Remember, they have to pay their bills,
Correct.
the monthly, rent, electricity.
There's expenses.
The expenses, the payroll, weekly payroll. So, sometimes it's not even their fault. Sometimes somebody else can give them a check and the check doesn't have any funds at that point. So it reflects on the business itself,
Correct.
not on the third person. So automatically, if they have insufficiency per month, more than 5 or 7, guess what? The underwriter, any lender that is going to underwrite that file is going to look at it. They're not going to even see how much money they're depositing. They're going to see those insufficiencies. So automatically it's going to be at the client. So our job is not only look for a lender that is going to give them an opportunity, but, bypass those insufficiencies. But at the same time, talk to them and letting them know, hey, listen, we got to work on this. We can give you, or we can try to give you 3 different options from 3 different lenders. But at this point, they have to understand that there's so many insufficiencies per month. And that's our job, to let them know, and the education come from, we got to do better.
So I love your knowledge, very knowledgeable. How did you become this knowledgeable? Where do you grow up?
I am from Jayuya, Puerto Rico, which
Okay.
I'm super proud. It's a small town in Puerto Rico.
I'm from Puerto Rico, and I'm very proud.
¿De qué parte? ¿De qué parte?
Mayagüez.
Ay, bello, bello. Jayuya is seriously, I was born in Rio Piedras, but I grew up with my grandparents in Jayuya. And let me tell you, everybody knows your name because it's a small community.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you were passing by, either the grandparents, the uncles, the cousins, they were like, hey, Sonia,
Yes.
how are you? So I grew up with that sense of family.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew that I wanted to be in the U.S. I was like, with my high hopes and dreams, I'm going to be in the U.S. I'm going to speak English.
The American dream, that's what
the
it's
American
called.
dream. Yo voy a hablar inglés y yo voy a ser famosa. No. Pero mi sueño era simplemente, yo me veía cuando escuchaba la música en la radioestación y escuchaba a Madonna y escuchaba todas esas cantantes. Yo decía, ya yo me sabía las lyrics.
So you're going to be there.
Yo sabía que yo quería venir, pero no sabía cuál era my destined future. Especially in a community like that,
Yes.
that you are destined to be married, have kids.
It's a culture.
Yeah.
Until this day, my aunts ask me, when are you getting married or what's going on? And I'm like, Didi, it's not the same.
It's not. I don't even tell that to my daughter anymore. But you grew up with that sense of, oh my goodness, this is what I got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I graduated, I was only 17. And I knew the next day I came to Connecticut. And I remember it was cold. It was in October, November. I knew that I came without a coat. Oh. And I called my aunt from the airport and I was like, she's like, oh, congratulations, da da da. And I was like, I'm here.
In cold.
In the cold at the airport. I remember back in the day, it was only one flight to Connecticut, to Bradley. And she went to pick me up. She brought a coat. And I felt like I was in heaven the next day when I saw the snow. That auntie Nora, que en paz descanse.
Amen.
She was everything because she had 3 kids, but she always worked. She went to college, continued working. So I saw myself in her. If she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, of course.
And she gave me the opportunity. And I remember I worked many jobs. I remember Burger King. It was my first job, closing late at night. Met a lot of interesting
Yeah, of
people.
course.
And then I continued. And one day I was taking ESL. And in those classes, somebody told me, hey, listen, they're hiring, in the banking for translation. You should apply. And that was my first job in the banking. And I was probably 18 or 19.
I
So,
want everybody to see that. You can start from the bottom. You do not
absolutely.
need to learn, know the language. You can be at Burger King, but if you're working on yourself and you're working to improve yourself,
absolutely.
endless.
Yes.
And look at you now.
Endless opportunities. I always talk about the good and the bad that I had in my life, because I think that it was for a time the people that were not talking about, oh, how bad you had it. No, you have to talk about
Yes,
it. You have to
agreed.
show others that it's okay to struggle. It's okay to go through the past, to the bad patches in your life, because it's how you get into the next, etapa en tu vida. Es como tú tienes que hacer las cosas para saber quién es Sonia, quién es
Yes.
la persona. Y eso me ayudó mucho.
So Sonia got to Connecticut,
Yes.
aprendió inglés,
Yeah.
got into banking.
Got into banking.
How do you jump them from banking to be the CEO, the founder of these companies?
Oh my goodness. You know what? I think that that brought something in me that I never knew at the time that I had. Working with families to get them their first home. It's amazing.
Yes.
It's a deeply intense feeling knowing that because of your help, they are buying the first property.
I agree.
So I think that stuck with me. I did the mortgage and for oh my goodness, 10, 12 years. And that opened doors. No matter what in this industry, especially back then, if you were Latina, bilingual, the opportunities that were always there. So I got opportunities for other jobs, which I declined. Other ones I did. I double.
Okay.
And anything that it had to do banking, mortgages, because Sharp Capital has the license to do mortgages.
Okay.
But one thing that I just fell in love, it was with the business funding. It was another etapa, como que algo completamente, because at that era, back 12, 13, 14 years ago, there was not a lot of Latinos starting their own businesses. And let me tell you, it's just the feeling of accomplishment.
Achievement.
Yeah, the
Yes.
achievement that they were like, oh my goodness, they're conquering something they never thought that it was going to be happening for them, and be able to help them. It was like I fell in love. I was like, this is it. This is my calling.
So you say stop hoping and start deciding. What is the one decision that took you from the 9 to 5 to the CEO? When did you decide to move forward?
I think that it was time. I think that it was time for me as a woman in business. I think it was time for not working for somebody else, a fourth party. I just took the chance. Nobody said to me, hey, except, obviously my dear husband, que en paz descanse también.
Amen.
And we sat down and we were like, this is needed. What can we do? And I took the chance. I remember that I only had like $300 in the bank, and I'm here now.
I know that this is like a dumb question at this point because you would do it again.
Absolutely.
So my next
yes.
question comes into that. Why are so many entrepreneurs stuck in the trying mode? Is it the fear?
I think it's the fear of failing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the fear of not having what it takes. But let me tell you, you gotta try. You gotta take the risk, try and see. And even if you fail, you can fail 2-3 times. But if this is what is your calling, you're gonna come back and go back into the horse and try it again.
I mean, you can fail many times.
Oh, yeah.
I would say
Oh, yeah.
fail as much as needed. From failure, you learn.
Absolutely.
what was done wrong, and then what we can change to actually do it correctly.
Yeah.
And I give you lots of props. You're just such an amazing
Me vas
human
a hacer
being.
llorar. Oh my goodness.
No, you're such like an inspiration, you know? So many hard things you've conquered, you've moved forward, you kind of like did this like American dream, right?
Yeah.
And you're still so humble and so loving and so just filled with this like beautiful energy that I gotta give you props.
I love that.
Because
Thank you.
people sometimes change, right?
You lose yourself in
Yes.
between, I think, growth. I think because I've seen it, I've seen it with others that unfortunately they grow too big and they lose themselves. I had an amazing partner in life that he always ground me. You know, we did the same to each other, and it was always about how good we have it right now, and it's all because of them.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot.
No, I always say you're here because of your past, right?
Yeah.
But where are we going to be in the future without that past? So let's say I want to talk a little bit more now about like the business.
Okay.
If a businessman out there is starting off and they're like, hey, Sonia, I really want to grow. I feel like I'm stuck at this like little grocery. I've had it for 3 years, but we want to expand.
This is something that it happens to me. I think it's your responsibility. I travel, I go to different places, and including in our communities, I tend to talk to people, talk to business owners. If it's a restaurant, I let them know, hey, here's my card. If you need anything, equipment, or if you need, to pay payroll. But I think that it is a responsibility that we have to take as a business owner. In each industry. So every platform that I have, if I go to a restaurant, if I go to a supermarket, I tend to give my business card.
Putting yourself out there.
It's like, I'm right here. I can help. Give me a call. So I always put myself there because I know how it was that nobody was there for me. So me gusta estar ahí y decirle,
here, toma, cualquier cosa. I love that. I really do. So, outside now, like educational purposes, right? And just to inform our viewers, the banks are tightening it up, right? Why are they saying no to good business people, good businessmen right now?
A lot of economy. The economy is something that is shifting. And unfortunately, everybody is going to be in the need of access to capital.
Yeah.
You gotta it's your job to have that money no matter what, or at least to apply to see how much. Like, for example, I tell my clients, sometimes they call in and they're like kind of worried, obviously the economy right now. And you know what I let them know? Let's submit the application. Let's see how much is the highest. And I give you 3 offers from there. So whenever you're ready, you can call me. You don't have to take the money right then, but at least you will know that you have that extra right here waiting for you when it's needed.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because what's not known a lot is that traditional banks or brick mortars, they have a certain amount.
Guidelines.
Yeah, guidelines. And they have a certain amount of like equity or funds for given business type.
Listen, there's so many programs out there. Unfortunately, traditional lenders, and don't get me wrong, I get, on Friday, I got a call from one of the lenders from here in Connecticut. Hey, listen, Sonia, I got this client. They explained the scenario. And guess what? It didn't fit their mold, but it fit mine.
And that's awesome.
And that was that, and I like that because no matter what, who can do the loan, our job is to refer everybody with the right solution. So, at that point, it was about to networking.
Right.
Making sure that even though the guidelines in the lenders are completely different than mine, I got a bunch of lenders. I built my portfolio. I got over 500 lenders. I just came back from the Miami Banking Convention because of that. I wanted to make sure that, any opportunity for our Latino businesses, we will be there waiting and having that opportunity to give to others. So
that's really good. So
yeah.
business people, no, there's not just one answer out there.
Oh, absolutely not. If you've been declined before, don't, and I know that it's scary, but if you've been declined before, just give me a call. Let's sit down. Let's get you into the right program for your business, okay? We will sit down. We will explain from the beginning to the end, how is the process? How we can actually, if it's a line of credit, because everybody sometimes they call me and they're like, oh, I want a line of credit, not knowing that that's not what they need.
Right.
So it's so many programs out there that it just is our job to explain to you what's best for you.
Yeah, I agree. What should someone fix today before they even ask for $1?
Credit. Credit is very important. Half of the businesses or people, they don't know the credit score. Even though that is not my forte, it is in a way. But they need to know the documents, and they need to know and have a good CPA. For Christ's sake, invest in a CPA. If you are a business and you just started, and I know it's the first year, people are like, oh, yeah, I got the business. Get a good CPA. Invest in a good CPA because they know the guidelines per state. They're going to tell you what to do to save money, to not to pay money back to the IRS. There's so many opportunities. So, but basically, credit.
I did get a lot of business owners that will tell me I made $200,000 this year. And I'm like, great. But then
where's that money?
Where's the taxes? Like, where do I see it in your filing?
Yeah.
And it's stuff like, oh, no, I filed like $50,000.
They tend to hide the money.
And I'm like, okay, but then like you're saying it, but I need it in paper because how are we going to give you money if I don't see the money?
They tend to do that also in when they apply for a business loan, regardless if it's a line of credit or equipment financing, they tend to say at the beginning, oh, yeah, we made X amount of money. We're going to go through the statements. We're going to find out if that was
the case.
Yes.
That was the case.
So, sometimes it's about you can listen to the merchant, but we're going to let them know this is not happening. Or you got to do this in order to get that approval.
Sometimes I like to kind of like talk straight out.
Me too.
And I like to be firm at first because I don't want to start the relationship with a lie.
Yeah.
So let's get to the point. What is it really?
Yeah.
And then that way I can actually help you.
Absolutely. I think that because they don't know, let me put it like this. If it's a new business, they call, because remember, we help businesses all over U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada.
I love that. I didn't know Canada was there, by the way.
Oh, my goodness. Since 2017 in
this
Canada.
This is a woman to follow.
It was very interesting. I remember that in Puerto Rico, it took me 1 year to get one lender to be able to fund Puerto Rico. And then in that year, also, it was back in the day, they had all the contracts in English.
Okay.
So I was the only company, obviously, that I was fighting for them to have a copy in Spanish. And they were like, for what? And I was like,
what do you mean?
Yes. I mean, I was like, they need to know. And they're like, well, we explained to them. I was like, I don't care. I want them to have a copy in Spanish. And it took me like 7 months. And after that, once one lender that I fought so hard give up, all the other lenders, now whoever does business with my companies, they have to have a team who speaks Spanish, mandatory, from the beginning to the end, from the welcome call to the funding call, because I want to make sure esas llamadas son grabadas. They are completely recorded calls. So I wanted to make sure that if is any doubt, they have the opportunity to say no. And we explain everything from the beginning to the end in English and Spanish, by email, by text, by Zoom. I got great responsibility. My responsibility is bigger than what I anticipated, because those clients are with me for a long time. I don't want to do one deal. I have them I want you to grow, to have a second location, third location,
But
and I'm going to be there.
that's the goal. I sometimes, in real estate, right? I help manage the brokerage.
And by the way, you're doing amazing.
Thank you. I try my best. But sometimes I tell the agents or I follow up and I send a lot of emails, Sonia. They call me email Stephany. Pero es because
I do too.
It's a lot of compliance, right?
Yeah.
Because I try to protect you as much as you let me, right? And that protects the brokerage as well. Because I want you, for these clients, to keep coming back to you.
That's the whole purpose.
If you help somebody buy the property and the property is bought correctly and the forms were signed and everything, wouldn't you think that buyer is going to come back to you because you were just so diligent?
They're going to be so happy that they're going to tell somebody else.
Correct.
That they're going to come back when they have to refinance.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come back if they are thinking about bigger, which is, investments. So I see what you're saying because this is, at the beginning, I remember and this is our responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
If you start a business and you don't give 100% your knowledge, you're not going to grow with the community.
Correct.
You're not going to grow with times. The most of my clients and my portfolio is repetitive businesses,
Mm-hmm.
word to mouth.
Yes.
Ellos solo dicen a otras personas, mira, yo recibí, it's kind of crazy. And the feeling is crazy when they actually talk to you and they say, mira, Sonia, me dijeron que te llamara de este negocio. Ay, eso se siente increíble.
Es que I have, he's like my septic guy / my plumber / anything I need.
Yeah.
Construction, he does construction, and I text this man for anything. Brian, you know who you are. I text this man for anything that I need.
Brian.
Yeah. And he's like, my companies do not do that. But let me give you the number of the guy that actually does and tell you my name. And when I say his name, it's like, oh, that guy is always referring because you get known in that public, in that community as the person either that refers or somebody that can actually help out.
And you know what? They know me as the connector because if I can't do anything for that person or that business, I will make sure. I know there's plenty for everybody.
Yeah.
Regardless about the background, regardless about their color, regardless about their industry. I learned many, many, many years ago to just pass that information to others. And listen, I can't do it, but I may have somebody who can. And that speaks volumes.
No, I agree. So, Sonia, now that we spoke a little bit about your business, your background, I want to know a little bit more about you as the mother.
Oh,
you as this business woman that's a mother as well. And how do you juggle this for other women out there trying to be this boss women?
I am lucky. I am lucky to have a amazing group of Latinas in Connecticut and fuera de Connecticut. But don't be scared. If you're a woman out there and you are scrolling in your phone and you're like, oh, I like this lady. She's been doing a lot of great things. Follow her. Send her a message. Hey, listen, can we meet? I learned myself that I have to take a risk.
Mm-hmm.
As a mom, I'm trying to do the best for my kids. And they're not kids anymore. They're older.
Yes.
By the way, I am a first-time grandmother.
Oh, congrats. I didn't know that. Congrats.
She just turned a month. So, hi, Grayson. Grandma loves you. But I am so, so lucky that in the lowest points of my life, I had an amazing tribe of Latinas, all backgrounds. A woman who were sending me messages. They were in my good and my bad. When they see something, they say, congratulations. I do the same to others. I don't care if it's a birthday. I think that we just got to be more, hey, listen, do you have a couple of minutes? Let's go and have coffee. So as a woman, it just take your time and just reach out to other ones because we are here. We are ready.
And trust me, I am ready because I
love that
handle
about
this.
you. Yeah.
So as a Latina, right, as a Hispanic woman coming from Puerto Rico and having now this empire, how does being a Latina in a male-dominated world of finance change how you negotiate?
Listen, you could have asked me that probably 7 years. I would have been super scared because I used to walk in rooms and not only I didn't saw the Latinas, I didn't saw the women, I didn't saw people like me doing business like I'm doing.
Correct.
And it was very scary because nobody, not even the friends that you have aside, because they're not from that industry. So I was by myself. But what you do? You get better.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. You get better in what you do. You spend time doing the research to be in those rooms and make sure that when you talk, they will listen.
Yes.
So, a través de los años, every time I used to go back to any banking convention, could have been in Miami, New York, whatever it might be, they knew. And now in the last one and prior to this ones, I am so proud. I remember, let me tell you this really quick. They invited me to speak in a debate in one of those banking conventions. I think it was 5 years ago. And I was so scared. And I said no 5 times. I no, thank you. Send the email, no. He called me, like, Sonia, we never had a Latina, a woman in this debate. But I think that, I know. He knew what he wanted. I didn't know that that's what I was ready to do. And I remember that I ended up saying yes. I was so scared by myself that day. In a room that it was 99.9 men. And I won that debate. The debate, I actually see the debate here and there when I need that power.
Yeah, like inspiration. I can do this.
And not only that changed me as a businesswoman, but also now, years after, every year I see other Latinos, not women. I mean, I wish it would be more women in this industry. But I'll take a man too. I'll take a Latino man that he's like, oh, Sonia, I saw you doing this. And I just started my business. I got one guy that Leo is phenomenal. Shout out to Leo. He started his own business. And he is killing it.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's one person that you can help. And I know that I helped a lot more. I know without a
doubt
in my mind. Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it is possible.
No,
Nothing can stop me now.
I love being a woman that goes into an office. I wear really high heels, or I make myself taller. Like,
yes. Oh,
if you're talking to me, you're gonna look up to talk to me.
Mírame, esto. I like that.
And then just knowledge. Be prepared. Go in there. You might not have the answers, but you fake it until you make it.
Yeah, you will get it. You will get it. And listen, like I said again, try it. Do it. Take a rest. Because there's nobody else who's gonna do it except yourself.
Yes.
You know in your gut if you are ready to do this. Why not? Who's gonna say no?
I don't want to. I'm very introverted, right? In I want to say personal life, not in my business. But I would have never done a podcast. I would have been gagging.
Really?
I started like sweating. High school was horrible. University
and look at
started,
you now.
like,
you are asking the right questions.
University started to get a little bit better. I had to be up in public. But
I love that.
being recorded, being in a podcast, being in YouTube, the last thing I would have done. And one time, the marketing director who's sitting right behind was like, oh, I think Stephany can do it. Let's just put her on. I was like, oh my gosh, the first time I couldn't sleep.
Love it.
And now she can tell me you have a podcast in 20 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'll be there.
I love that about you. So you took a rest for yourself.
Yes.
And look at you now. It's incredible what we can do.
Yeah.
And we just don't give each other that much. Oh, you know what? I know I may. No, we can and we will.
Yes. And that you motivate yourself. You put yourself out there. If you put yourself in uncomfortable places, you will achieve and you will be comfortable at some point.
And hey, listen, it could be, and unfortunately, it's going to come times that, we got to talk about the good and the bad and the ugly. It's going to be times that you don't know what to do. Right. And it's okay. Prepare yourself for the next time you will walk in and you will know. You will dominate. So, and surround yourself with other powerful females. Or they don't have to be powerful. If they don't have the time, that's on them. That means that you're going to build your own, that you're going to build your own table, that you're going to create those women right next to you to help you. So it's a lot of ways.
I would say surround yourself with Sonia. Give her a call. But last question before we start wrapping up. And this might be a little difficult. Okay. When you're gone, what do you want the Sonia Alvelo Lynch brand to stand for?
Actually, thank you for asking that. I think about that a lot, lately in the past, 2 years, year and a half since, the loss of my husband. Brandon, I love you. But he's always with me. He he guides me. And I never thought before his passing, what legacy are we going to leave behind? And now with not only him gone, but also being a grandmother for the first time, a lot of questions have entered my mind. Like, what can I do? How can I do this better? How can I leave something that when I'm definitely gone, he will see and he's like, oh, my grandma was the shit. Sorry if I cannot curse.
You're fine.
But it's something that it passed through my mind a lot. And all I want is the truth. I don't hide where I come from. I make mistakes. And while I was making the mistakes, there was nobody there to say, it's okay. So now, late in life, I can tell others, it's okay. It's okay. You made a mistake. It's okay. How you going to do what you're going to do now to do better? So I just do my best every day and hope that I leave something beautiful behind.
And I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
I 100%. I'm sure.
I
know that your kids know that.
I hold my tears on this one.
Yes, but she teared up. It didn't fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that we're wrapping up, I want to play a little game.
Okay.
Just 3 little things. Okay.
Right.
So rapid fire. I'm going to say a sentence or ask a question, the first word that comes to mind.
Okay.
Just a word.
Okay.
Okay. One word for struggling business owners right now.
Money.
Success is not a destination. It's a...
Fighting. I don't know why fighting comes to mind.
You're fine. It could be a journey. Okay, so finish this. You're not trying. You're...
Oh, my goodness. You're not trying. You're...
Succeeding.
Yeah.
Moving forward. Doing something. Okay.
Me quedé. I'm sorry.
No,
I suck on
you're
this one.
fine. You're fine. It was a little game. So, Sonia, before we wrap, I want you to say where people can find you.
Okay. Well, everybody can actually find Latin Financial at latinfinancial.biz, 877-287-7826. Sharp Capital, sharpcapital.biz. The same number, 877-287-7826. If you have a business, we have the funding. We will help you with the process. Let me help you get the access to capital that your business needs. Si necesitas dinero para tu negocio, danos una llamada. ¿Tienes el negocio? Latin Financial tiene financiamiento.
I love that. And her social media is going to be below her as well. So, Sonia, thank you so much for being here today. And everybody, if you want to follow, if you want to subscribe, please hit that button so you can see so much more of anybody that we have in 5 Stars Realty. Sonia, thank you again. Really lovely episode. I really loved it. And thank you, everybody. See you next time.